behind this front door, behind many front doors, is the scourge of damp places, the unsightly, awful nightmare of black mould. But there is an easy way to get rid of it, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to look at 3 areas in the same house suffering from black mould, and I want to show you an easy method to remove the mould using readily available household materials. Black mould is unsightly and unhealthy, and once it has a hold, it is difficult to remove using standard cleaners, mould removal sprays or liquids. You're going to need thick, strong household bleach, protection for your hands, some sheets of toilet paper and some cotton wool balls. You will not want to come into contact with any of the products that you're using, especially the bleach. Take note of the warnings on the packages. You take an ordinary household toilet roll and tear off a few sheets, and with these sheets you then form some sausages made of crumpled toilet paper to lay beside the bleach that you're going to use in the offending areas. I've used both toilet paper and also cotton wool balls that can be unravelled in order to make similar sausages and tubes to go beside the bleach in use. By unravelling a cotton wool ball, again you're making some way in order to retain the bleach against the mould in the silicone sealant or other area that you wish to treat. Of course, wearing protective gloves is very wise, and I've rolled down my sleeves and ensured that I've got the best quality gloves in order to protect myself from the bleach. I've started with this windowsill. As you can see, it's just part of the filler between the glass and the frame, and it's got discoloured over the years, so strictly this is ingrown black mould that you can wipe off but never completely get rid of. So I started by trickling thick, strong bleach down the window to meet the top of the seal. I then took the tissue paper rolled into sausages, placed it along the top and tamped it down with my index finger to start soaking up the bleach, thus retaining it against the discoloured seal. As you can see, the tissue paper still hasn't got much bleach in it, so again I put more bleach across the top and started to soak it in from above down below, along the length of the seal that needed the black mould removing. Next came the corner, and I didn't think that tissue paper would stand upright in the vertical, so this time I used some of the cotton wool, again dribbling bleach down the sealant, wetting up the cotton wool and pressing it into place. In an effort to ensure that nobody touched the bleach, I put a label on the window. Next, I turn to another difficult area, and this is in a relatively new shower unit, only put up a year ago, but the damp has already ensured that black mould has hit the silicone sealant that was placed there, especially in the corner and behind some of the filler. Again, the method was to use tissue paper and cotton wool. On the whole, the cotton wool worked best when it came to being pressed into place. Down the edges of the shower and along the shower tray, mould could be seen. This time I took a Pyrex jug and put a great deal of the bleach in the bottom because I was going to soak the cotton wool this time. Taking my cotton wool ball, I unravelled it as I showed before. And then plunged it deep into the bleach at the bottom of the Pyrex jug. I preferred to do this away from the shower because the shower area was getting very tight. I used my fingers to ensure that the cotton wool was full of bleach. Now back to the shower tray, and ensuring that I'd got very damp cotton wool in this corner, I started to layer it along the base, dampening the silicone sealant by being pressed right into the corners as firmly as I could go to ensure 100% contact with the silicone sealant. Using the cotton wool, it was very easy to push it into the corner beside the shower unit, making it nice and damp, and pressing it in, it would actually stay there without any slipping at all, and it could be slipped down at will. I started in the top where there was mould, and then I filled in towards the bottom. So the whole shower, where the black mould had developed in the silicone sealant, had now been treated with the cotton wool and tissue paper all the way round the edge. Again, I placed a warning sign on the doors to ensure safety. 12 hours later, and now it's time to look behind our efforts. To start with, I peeled away the toilet paper to reveal what had happened between the double glazing seal and the double glazing frame. This was an experiment because I didn't know what would happen because there was no real loose black mould. And as you can see, as the reveal proceeds, to the left it's still dark, but to the right the black mould is so deep into the plastic that it hasn't actually been removed in its entirety. And to the right, where there is a place where it's very black, that's because the tissue paper didn't touch there at all and the bleach simply dried up. However, returning to the shower that's almost entirely done with cotton wool, as you can see it being peeled off, the black mould has completely gone. This is 12 hours later, possibly even 18 hours later. I undertook these treatments overnight, leaving it as long as I possibly could before I removed the cotton wool. 12 hours later, wearing protective gloves again, it was possible to see what an effect it had transformed the silicone, and the mould was gone. There's no scraping out, there's no removing the sealant, just bleach, toilet paper and patience. So looking all the way around the shower, now that I've washed it down and got rid of all the residues of bleach, you can see that it is now returned to its pristine state, the way the plumber did it at the time he put in the shower. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it will help. Please subscribe and please share with your friends.